We started dating kind of on and off in September, going on a couple dates here and there. In December, things kind of became more serious. And before we had even made ourselves official, I got pregnant. I got pregnant on New Year's Eve. Suddenly it's not just, a honeymoon stage anymore. It went from being something that, like, oh, this is kind of nice and, I can see a future with this person, to all of a sudden having to make these huge decisions with somebody that you don't even know really that much about. My mom always joked, if you ever got pregnant, you'd be getting an abortion. And it was just kind of something that she talked about because I was so young, and she didn't wish for me to be a single mom and struggle my entire life. So as soon as I found out I was pregnant, immediately I said that I wanted an abortion. I was pacing back and forth of Trevor's apartment, and I just Googled St. John Teen Resources, I think is what I looked for, and it was one of the first things that came up, and I called and kind of gave them a little bit of information. So from February 16th to April 22nd, every Wednesday, we came into the Pregnancy Resource Center and had talks with our counselors, and they never pushed us towards keeping our son. They never pushed us towards having an abortion. They never pushed us towards adoption. It is such an amazing environment to not feel judged. And that's so hard to find now, is a place to go where no one judges you.
We had plenty to consider and plenty of different things to assess and evaluate. And as, again, Melissa mentioned, it came down to the last minute.
I had until 2:30 in the morning to take these pills that were gonna make me start to miscarry on my own. And then at 8 o'clock on Friday morning, I was to drive up to the hospital in Moncton and have the procedure done. That night, Trevor hadn't expressed any emotion the entire time that we were going through the experience. He was very calm. Trevor and I were laying down there, and I was kind of regaling him. I was like, this is what the procedure is. And I told him how it goes start to finish. And he just started weeping, like just broke down crying, saying like, this is not what I want. Like, I don't want you to go through this. And knowing myself, had I have gone through that experience, I would have been very much traumatized and very much depressed.
It was that last minute realization when Melissa explained the procedure of what was going to happen through an abortion. And again, I became very emotional at that point and realizing just how against it I was.
My mom was living with us at the time. She was living in the apartment with us. And that night I'd probably gone in to see her a million times and asked her different questions. I remember I asked her, I said, well, you were a single mom. I was like, would you trade it? Like, would you do it again? And she's like, every struggle that I had was worth it. At 2:30 in the morning, Trevor was asleep and my mom was asleep and I was in the bathroom. And I just was in a mess of myself. And then suddenly just like this moment of clarity and was like, I can't not have a baby. This needs to happen. And I remember the next morning my mom woke up and she came in and she said, are we driving up to the hospital? And I just said no. We slept in, got up probably around noon, and my mom showed up in the room with a present, and it was a little willow tree angel, and it was a pregnant woman, and she's just like, I'm so excited to be a grandmother. We woke up the next morning and it felt like we hadn't breathed in months. Like, we woke up and it was like, Okay, like that was the right decision to make. And we came in on Tuesday afternoon and they were waiting for us over in the little room, and we went in and they said, "What did you do?" And I said, "Well, we kept it." And they were just, overjoyed. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it. They were so happy.
Since then, it's been just so much happiness. A little bit of lost a lot of sleep, but lots of happiness. Like the things that go along with having our child, and the ups and the downs are all so worth it. That nothing he can do that will deter me away from wanting to be his father and be his knight in shining armor. It's what I love to do. It makes me the happiest.
The counselor that's here, that's seen us every day, I honestly owe Declan's life to her, because I fear that without her, I probably wouldn't have had a baby. And that's not because she pushed me to keep him, but she made me feel like it was okay to have a baby. And she will forever be such an important part of my life, and Declan will know who she is for the rest of his life.